Hey friends, tax season is coming. I've got you covered with a 12-episode Saturday series running January through April. Each week, I'll share tips to help small business owners avoid tax season stress, get clarity, and lighten the load by delegating what you don't need to carry. Tune in every Saturday and step into tax season with confidence. So we're getting close to April 16th, and it's almost the end of the tax season. You are thinking and trying to figure out how to file your taxes, and you're trying to make sure that you don't get to 11:47 p.m. on that day to be able to submit those taxes. If that happens, that you find yourself exhausted and trying to figure things out, I understand that the last thing you want to think about is bookkeeping or taxes for anything for a little while after that. And I get it. You have earned a break, so take a deep breath, celebrate that it's done. But I do want you to think about this. What do you do in the next 30 days can really change everything. And it can determine whether next year tax season is easy or agonizing. The choice you make right now, this week, this month, will either lock you in the systems that make your tax manageable going forward, or at the end, and you'll slide right back into chaos and end up in the exact same panic 12 months from now. So today, in the final episode of our Tax Season Saturday series, I'm going to show you exactly how to maintain the organization you've built during tax crunch time so that next April you can just coast through it instead of drowning in it. I'm Patricia Oholeguy, and this is Tax Season Saturdays. Almost every small business owner loses their financial organization within weeks of filing their tax returns. The pattern is predictable. Great at bookkeeping through mid-April, then complete radio silence throughout the summer and fall. And here's why. Tax season creates artificial urgency. When you have a deadline with the legal and financial consequences, you find the time and energy. You categorize transactions, you track receipts, you reconcile accounts. The deadline pressure overcomes your natural resistance. But once the deadline passes, the motivating force disappears. There's no immediate consequence for skipping a week of bookkeeping in May. The consequences are months away, abstract, and easy to ignore. So you ignore them. And the backlog builds silently until January, when it's urgent again. A graphic designer told me, Patricia, I don't understand why I was so organized in March and April. I knew exactly where I stood financially, but by October, I was 5 months behind and I had no idea what was my profit. And how does that keep happening to me? And I can tell you this, it happens because she had crisis-driven motivation. No systems. When the crisis ended, the behavior ended. The other reason organization disappears is tax season burnout. You spent so much energy on financial organization that you're mentally exhausted. You need a break, which is fine for a week or two, but not a break that extends indefinitely because you're avoiding the thing that recently caused so much stress, and months pass by and you get behind again. So here's the question. What's the minimal system that keeps you organized year-round without the stress? And here's 4 components. So here's the first component. Have a weekly 30-minute bookkeeping session, no exceptions. And for that reason, every Monday in our Clarity Compass membership, the first component is to have a weekly 30-minute bookkeeping session, no exceptions. And this is why our Clarity Compass membership meets Monday nights at 7 p.m. We spend 30 minutes on bookkeeping maintenance, review and categorize last week's transactions, reconcile credit cards and bank accounts, file receipts digitally, and that's it. 30 minutes per week consistently prevents backlog entirely. But when you're dealing with 5 to 15 transactions from the previous week, categorizing takes minutes. When you're dealing with 300 transactions for 6 months of backlog, it takes days or weeks. In our membership, Monday sessions provide structure and accountability. You're not trying to remember on your own. You get a reminder. You have a scheduled time. You're doing it alongside other business owners. Group accountability turns this form, a task you avoid, into a habit you maintain. The second component is you need to have monthly financial reviews. So every first Monday of each month, at the Clarity Compass membership, we review last month's finances. We run a profit and loss report. And we check what was your revenue, what was the expenses, what is your net profit, how does it compare to the previous month, any surprises, any trends, anything that needs attention. All of that can be reviewed once all your bank accounts have been reconciled. And this isn't detailed deep dive analysis, it's a quick health check. Am I on track for annual goals? Are expenses creeping up unexpectedly? Is revenue consistent or volatile? Do I need to do adjustments to pricing, spending, or strategy? Monthly check-ins catch problems early when they're small and fixable, not at year end when they're big and entrenched. The third component is annual planning sessions and improving your systems. Right after filing each year, late in April or early May, schedule a 1 hour to reflect on what went well and what went wrong with tax prepping. What caused the stress? What took longer than you expected? What information was hard to find? What changes would you make next year to make it easier? Then implement those changes immediately while the pain is fresh and you're motivated. If you struggle to find vehicle mileage, implement a tracking app now. If categorization was confusing, clean up your chart of accounts now. If you couldn't remember which purchases were business versus personal, commit to using your business credit card exclusively starting today. So let's talk about some common mistakes and how to avoid them. So the first mistake that I see is people stop doing their weekly bookkeeping soon after filing their taxes. Maybe they haven't touched their QuickBooks in 3 weeks. By June, they have 2 months of uncategorized transactions that are piling up. This is the mistake that creates next year's chaos. You're literally setting yourself up for the exact same painful situation 12 months from now on. The weekly habit must continue in April, May, June, July, every single month, or you'll lose everything you've built. Consistency matters more than intensity. 30 minutes every week beats 8 hours once per quarter every single time. The second mistake I see is failing to adjust systems based on this year's lessons. You struggled tax prepping and you finally got it done. But did you document what caused the struggle so you can fix it for next year? Every year should be easier than the year before because you're learning and improving. If every year feels exactly the same amount of painful, you're learning from your experience. You're just repeating the same mistake annually. Take time in late April or early May to specifically identify what went wrong, what took so long, what information was missing, what categories were confusing, then fix those specific problems now while they're still fresh in your mind. So now turn these lessons into improvements. One of the most valuable exercises right after tax season is documenting specifically what caused the stress, then systematically fix each pain point. So don't generalize and say bookkeeping was hard, but write down examples such as finding all of my Amazon business purchases mixed with personal orders took hours for me to be able to decipher. And don't write, I was disorganized. Write, I spent 2 full days hunting for receipts for 6 specific purchases that I filed somewhere randomly. The more specific you are about what went wrong, the more precise you can fix it. Generic problems have no clear solutions. Specific problems have specific actionable fixes. So the second step is identify a painful item, identify a system, and change it. That way you won't have the same issue next year. If hunting for Amazon business purchases was painful, then fix that. Create a separate Amazon business account exclusively for business purchases, or use it exclusively for the business credit card for all Amazon business orders, or screenshot and save the receipt to a digital folder immediately after every purchase. Pick a solution that's realistic for your work style and actually implement it this week, not eventually. If you wait until later, you'll never do it and you'll have the exact same problem next year. This next exercise I want you to think is how to update your chart of accounts based on the confusion that you experienced categorizing transactions. When you had expenses that you didn't know how to categorize, you need to create a clear category for them. Were there categories you used wrong throughout the year because you just didn't know where to allocate them? Fix the category names to be clear. Were the expenses types that happened frequently but didn't fit well? Add a new category for that ones that make sense. Your chart of accounts should evolve and improve every year based on your actual business activity. Your chart of accounts is a living, breathing system that should be adjusted and modified based on your business trends. It's not a set it and forget it system. It's a living platform that you need to refine annually based on the experience. In our Clarity Compass membership, we do annual chart of account reviews with members specifically for this purpose. We look at what didn't work last year and we fix it systematically so next year is clear and easier. The single biggest factor determining whether your maintained organization post-tax season is having accountability. In our Clarity Compass Method membership, on Monday nights at 7 p.m. sessions is that accountability structure. You get a reminder every Monday. There's a scheduled time for bookkeeping. You're doing it alongside with other business owners. You see them showing up consistently, which normalizes the behavior and makes it easier for you to show up. When you show up every Monday for 3 weeks in a row, you don't want to break the streak. When you see other members maintaining consistency for months, you're inspired to do the same. For business owners who want accountability but don't want to attend weekly sessions or do the work themselves, this is exactly why our white glove services provide for those people. We handle all of your bookkeeping needs and we do all the maintenance. We categorize transactions, we reconcile accounts, we catch errors, we generate monthly reports, we calculate everything for you. You're never behind because we're never behind. You're always current because we keep you current. And when tax season arrives, everything's already organized perfectly because it's been maintained professionally all year long. Now, this is the last episode of the tax season Saturday series, but it's the most important one because everything we've talked about over the last 12 episodes is about tracking receipts, understanding deductions, organizing expenses, managing credit cards, understanding quarterly taxes, project and profitability, and all of it means nothing if you don't maintain the system after tax season ends. 30 minutes every Monday, 15 minutes once a month, a few hours each quarter, an hour in May to document lessons and improvements. That's the minimal maintenance systems that transform tax seasons for a crisis into a routine of administrative tasks. For that reason, I'm inviting all of you to attend us and join us every Monday night at 7 p.m., where we maintain the systems together in the Clarity Compass Method membership. You can join us in this event on Mondays and don't wait until January when you're panicking about being months behind. Join us now while you're current, while you still have momentum, while you still remember why organization matters, or hand the whole thing to our white glove services team and never worry about maintenance again. We'll keep you organized, consistent all year. We'll handle every weekly and monthly task. We'll prepare you for quarterly taxes and we'll make sure that when tax season comes, it's easy because we never let you get behind. So again, thank you for joining me on this 12 episodes of Tax Season Saturdays. I hope these episodes have given you practical systems and real tools for managing your small business finances better. And I hope to see you all on Monday night working on maintaining everything you've built so next year taxes is easier one that you've ever had. Thank you for tuning into the Book of Balance podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Hey, thanks for joining this Saturday's tax season special. Don't forget, you can join the Clarity Compass membership for weekly support or reach out for our white glove bookkeeping services. And remember, we're not lawyers or accountants, just your guide to clarity. Catch the next Saturday episode in this special tax season series. See you then.